now tells us to rationalize the denominator using conjugates. Conjugates, those are the ones where we FOILed, where one had a plus sign and one had a minus sign, but we had the exact same terms. So, when they tell us to rationalize the denominator, they just want that plain whole number, one number answer. So what we're going to do is multiply the top and the bottom by 5 plus 2 square root of 2. Same two terms as the denominator, just with the opposite sign, because we found out when we FOILed that, all that stuff canceled out of there, right? On the top, we're just going to multiply it out using our distributive property. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Negative 3 times 2 square root of 2 would be negative 6 square root of 2, right? Okay? Bottom, that's the one we have to FOIL out. I'm not going to write it out the big long way I did before, but I'm just going to do it here. 5 times 5, we know is 25. 5 times the 2 square root of 2, 10 square root of 2. Inside, negative 2 square root of 2 times 5, minus 10 square root of 2. And then negative 2 square root of 2 times a positive 2 square root of 2 would be negative 4 square root of 4. Okay? So, looking at that to simplify it, notice we have a positive 10 square root of 2 and a negative 10 square root of 2. Those are going to cancel, because they're opposites. And then on that last one, we have that square root of 4 that we can rewrite. The square root of 4 is just a 2, so we have 4 times 2, which is minus 8. So now on the bottom, we have 25 minus 8. 25 minus 8 would be 17. So our answer is that we have negative 15 minus 6 square root of 2 all over 17. And again on this one, you want to hit the fraction thing first and type the top separately from the bottom, because you want this negative up with the 15, not in front of the fraction. So you have to type them in separately. So looking at that next one, we want to rationalize the denominator. There's two things on the bottom, so we got to multiply by the conjugate, and our conjugate's going to be 4 square root of 2 plus 2 then. The same thing as the bottom, just with the opposite sign in the middle. And so when we multiply that, 5 times 4 square root of 2 would give me
20 square root of 2.
20 square root of 2, exactly. And then 5 times 2?
20. 10.
10, plus 10. So we got the top done. The top was easy. Now we're going to FOIL the bottom. So, 4 square root of 2 times 4 square root of 2.
16 squared. 4.
Yep, and we'll worry about simplifying that later after we're done multiplying. Now we're going to take the 4 square root of 2 times the 2.
8 squared.
8 square root of 8 square root of just the 2, because there's nothing to multiply it by, right? So we took the 2 times the 4, but then that is going to stay 8 square root of 2, because there wasn't a square root on the other one. Then we got to do the inside. The inside says take negative 2 times 4 square root of 2.
That's going to be negative 8.
Negative 8 square root of 2, right?
Yeah.
And then the last two, negative 2 times a positive 2.
Negative 2.
Negative 4. So, now that we've got the bottom foiled out, what's going to happen with that?
We are going to take this 16 square root, or should we do the, oh no, you got just the number, negative 4.
First of all, we can cancel those two, right?
Oh yeah, we can.
We better be able to, because that was the whole point of using the conjugate.
Okay.
Then we can simplify this one.
Okay,
Square root of 4 is?
4.
Square root of 4 is?
2.
2. 2 times 16, 32.
Oh,
2 times 16 should be 32. And so now we have 32 minus that 4 on the end. And 32 minus 4 is 28. So we have 20 square root of 2 plus 10 over 28.
so the answer is...
We're not quite done
Oh no, next.
because we can simplify that fraction. Why do you suppose we can simplify that fraction? We couldn't simplify the top one, but we can simplify this one because all of these numbers here are all divisible by 2, right?
Yeah.
So I can reduce it down. I'm going to divide by that 2 and make this 10 and make this 5 and make this 14. Notice you're not doing the square root, just those whole numbers. So we have 10 square root of 2 plus 5 over 14 for a crazy looking answer. Number 12. We want to rationalize the denominator, so what should we multiply by?
Three.
Look at your previous ones.
Oh, 5 plus square root of 3.
You're getting closer. What do we have to do with the sign?
What sign?
The sign of that bottom thing. When you multiplied.
Oh,
You multiplied by what they call the conjugate. You have to use 5 minus 2 square root of 3. So that when you FOIL, you get those opposites in the middle that you can cancel out. So we're going to multiply by 5 minus 2 square root of 3. And so on the top we're going to get
top we're going to get negative 25.
yep.
God, I'm just blank. 10 plus 10?
Plus 10 square root of 3.
Plus 10 square root.
Now we got to FOIL out the bottom. So on the bottom, when you FOIL that out, you're going to get
25
25
plus 4.
Where are you getting that from?
The 2 times the negative.
Now you got to FOIL it. So you did this times this,
Yeah.
but now you got to do this times this,
So
right?
negative 10.
Negative 10 square root of 3.
Square root of 3.
Then you got to do the inside, which is going to be
It's going to be 10.
positive 10 square root of 3. Then I can do the last, which will be
Good idea.
2
As
square
long
root
as
of 3.
you're talking with me, I can do it.
So 2 square root of 3 times negative 2 square root of 3.
Okay. Negative 4.
Negative 4 square root of
6. 3.
3 times 3 is
9.
9. So, what can we do with the bottom part?
Okay, you can cancel out the negative 10 squared 3
And the positive 10 square root of
and
3.
the positive 10 squared 3.
And then we can simplify that last term.
Yep, the 9.
Square root of 9 is
3.
3. 3 times our minus 4.
12, negative 12.
So we have 25 minus 12 on the bottom.
Oh.
25 minus 12 gives us 13. So we have negative 25 plus 10 square root of 3 all over 13. This one we can't reduce because we can't reduce the 10, 13, and 25 by the same thing. All three of them have to be able to be divided by the same thing.